Good afternoon, Villa fans, and welcome to a match preview for our game on Sunday against Burnley with Michael Jackson in charge. Look at that thumbnail. Smash a like. I want to see 100 likes for that thumbnail. Villa have to beat it on Sunday to secure Champions League. Will we moonwalk our asses into Champions League as we take on a bad Burnley team who are already relegated? So hit that like. Shamon, we're going for 100. You guys remember Bo Selector from back in the day? Shamon, motherfucker. Yes, so Burnley coming up. I normally say it's going to be a tough game, but, this is a chance for us to really end the week on a high, following on from yesterday's tremendous result in the Europa League, secure Champions League, and then we don't have to worry about Liverpool and Man City in the last two as much. But I'm sure that Unai Emery is the consummate professional and will, treat every game with its respect. But, we don't want to be throwing this game. We don't want to give any encouragement to the likes of, Brentford, Brighton, that are, still, and Bournemouth, that are still within mathematically a chance of catching us. But a victory here puts that all to rest. There was a monumental effort that went in from all of the players yesterday, and I'm sure there are a few sore legs, and with Ollie Watkins, a few sore heads. So do we need to, I'm not saying we're going to go Spurs and rotate as much as we did there with 8 changes or 7 changes or however many it was, but certain players can be rested, and there are players that can come in that don't weaken us as much. But I want to keep the flow going. I want to see us take the game to Burnley like we did against Forest. Same energy, same intensity. If we can go again, it's a big ask, but I think we can. Burnley are already kind of down. The caretaker manager in charge, Scott Parker's obviously been dismissed. Michael Jackson's in charge for them. But their season hasn't been great. I think they're scrapping with the Wolves for bottom position. So if Wolves can get another win and Burnley don't win this season, then Burnley could be ended up in 20th position as well, which I think affects prize money when they go down. I'm not too sure about that, but I normally sort of do a big chat about the opposition and go into stats and previous last 5 games, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to say Burnley are there for the taking. Their sort of standout players this season have been Zion Fleming, their Dutch striker, who's managed to bag 10 goals in all competitions. So impressive enough for him. I think most of those have been in the Premier League as well. And then Jadon Anthony on 8 goals as well. So, they will want to put in a performance. I'm not sure if it's their last home game of the season, but, they will want to show something. They've got Kyle Walker there, who I believe is captain. But, their confidence will be down. Ours should be up after the win and the euphoria of qualifying for the Europa League final. My team selection for this, I'm looking at people like Emi Martinez to stay in goal, and then Marco Bizzo is there, but I don't want to see wholesale changes. I want to respect Burnley. I want to get the win, and then maybe we can make changes in the second half, hopefully so, if the game is going to plan. So Emi Martinez to continue in goal. Matty Cash at right back, because Andres Garcia is not up to it, and Lamar Bogard is not really up to it either. So Cash, I'm going to go with Konsa and Pau Torres at centre-back. You could bring in Tyrone Mings for this one, but I just feel, we need some passing ability from the back, and Pau Torres did superbly well yesterday, both from a physical point of view and also with his distribution. And that's just something you don't get from Tyrone Mings, is that distribution. So Konsa and Pau Torres to continue in centre-back. The left-back role, I will open it up to Ian Maatsen for this one. He didn't get on yesterday, so he should be fresh. Luca Digne put in a lot of effort up against Omari Hutchinson. Burnley have, I think, I can't remember his name, the winger that they have is quite quick as well. So, we need someone that can match up sort of pace-wise with him. So I would go Ian Maatsen here. And I think Ian Maatsen had a loan spell at Burnley, if I'm not wrong, like early on in his career, loan spell when he was at Chelsea. I'm sure that he helped them. I thought he helped them get promoted. Let me know if I'm wrong with that one. But and then centre midfield, I'm wrapping Amadou Onana in cotton wool. He's not even going to be on the bench for this one for me. Just keep him fresh for Freiburg, or even Liverpool perhaps, but I'm not even looking at Amadou Onana to get anywhere near the picture on this one. Victor Lindelof came in and did so well, played up to 75 minutes, I think, yesterday. But the way that he performed and the way that he dropped into the back three, allowing Cash to move forward, allowing McGinn to invert from that left-hand side was really, really good. It's something that Lamar Bogard doesn't really do. Douglas Luiz wouldn't do that either. He wouldn't move into a back three. But Victor Lindelof has that natural kind of defensive sense, really. So I think Victor Lindelof to continue in the CDM alongside Yuri Tielemans as well. Hopefully Tielemans can go again. He's playing a lot of football since he's come back from injury. Ideally, you'd like to maybe rest him, but I just think we need to beat it on Sunday and get the 3 points here. So I'm going with a strong team, and as I said, maybe make subs later on in the second half if legs are tiring and things like that. So Yuri Tielemans to begin with Victor Lindelof, and then it's as you are really as the three behind the striker, John McGinn, who did come off towards the end of the game, put a monumental effort in. You could see, he was blood, sweat, and tears for the cause. Emi Buendia probably had his best game in a Villa shirt, I would say, yesterday, assisting, scoring a penalty, and just overall being, that high energy, high octane player. But whether he can go again in a short amount of time to put in the same sort of energy again, that's up for question. But I think we should start him and see how he gets on. And if he is flagging, then you've got subs that you can bring on. Morgan Rogers will never be dropped, so I imagine he'll play here 90 minutes from the sort of the left-hand side. Hopefully get a goal. I think he needs a goal as well. And then up front, obviously we've seen Ollie Watkins perform, probably his best performance of the season. Obviously got bandaged up, really, went up for a header and managed to get a head in the face from was it Morato? So he didn't shirk it. He carried on playing, he carried on running. He was a nuisance, got his well-deserved goal as well. Tammy Abraham didn't get on the pitch, so you could say, he'll be fresh as a daisy and maybe he should play, and Ollie Watkins might have, just a little bit of a injury, a little bit of a head, might feel a bit dizzy or whatever. So if Tammy Abraham does start here, I've got no problem with that at all. So the changes that I would make is Ian Maatsen, Tammy Abraham to start against Burnley, and have Ollie Watkins from the bench perhaps and bringing him on maybe towards the end of the game if needs be. But I think, that lineup there should be good enough. And then you've got the bench of Bizot, you've got Lamar Bogard, you've got Leon Bailey, who I think will see a lot more minutes in this game than he did yesterday. Luca Digne, Andres Garcia, Tyrone Mings, Douglas Luiz, Jadon Sancho, and Ollie Watkins on the bench as well. Harvey Elliott, he's one game away from triggering that permanent deal, so I don't think he'll be touching the bench either for this one. Might be nice to see a couple of youngsters thrown on the bench. The likes of Bradley Burrowes, I've been hearing a lot about. So he might be someone that could get on the bench for this game. I'm not sure what's going on with, I think Alisson is out injured. Brian Maggio, I'm not sure what's happened there in terms of his registration. Apparently he can't be registered for some reason, but that's a shame because it would be nice to have seen Maggio get some minutes towards the end of the season. But if he's not going to play in this one, then I can't see him playing against Liverpool or Man City, and the same goes for Bradley Burrowes. So this was really the last kind of game where you could maybe field a couple of youngsters here and there. Liverpool still trying to get above us, are above us in the league. So we want to, try to catch them. And obviously Man City, as it is now, still gunning for the title. So they'll be totally up for the game. At the Etihad, they will want to win and take it absolutely seriously so they can catch Arsenal if that's the case. So it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be a tough game. I'm not going to say it's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to say it's going to be a workman-like game, a professional kind of game. I think Villa have enough in the tank. I think Burnley are down and out. I think we've seen recent performances where they haven't shown much response and much fight. So I'm going for a Villa win. I think it won't be as comfortable as many are probably predicting. Obviously coming off the back of a 4-0 win against Forest. I think this might be a scrappy, maybe 1 or 2-0. I'll go 2-0 Aston Villa for this one. but it will be one that's like maybe 1-0 and it'll be a close game. Burnley will have a few chances, rally, and then maybe we'll get a second goal, in the last sort of 5 minutes of the game to seal it up. But yeah, I'm going 2-0 Aston Villa. I'm going Tammy Abraham to score, and I'm going to go Emi Buendia to continue his excellent performance from yesterday and to get a goal again. So Emi Buendia, Tammy Abraham from me. Let me know your score predictions. Let me know what you do team lineup wise. Maatsen and Abraham to come in and the rest stays the same. Or do you want to see more changes in that? Don't want it to backfire like Spurs. Obviously, we've got Ross Barkley, who I totally forgot about. We would probably be on the bench for this as well, but he didn't really shine against Spurs. Looked very leggy, very tired. And I think it's just as you are, but with Maatsen and Abraham to come in to the lineup. And guys, let me know your Michael Jackson, comments and memes, and not memes, puns. Sorry, let me know your Michael Jackson puns in the comments as well. But if we beat it on Sunday, Champions League is wrapped up. We could be moonwalking our way into securing 5th position, and Burnley are a very bad team. I'll leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekends. Hopefully Villa win on Sunday, and we're talking about Champions League wrapped up, Europa League final, and then we're looking ahead to Liverpool, whose game now I believe has been moved to Friday the 15th. So I think it was due for a Saturday tea time, I think it was, but now it's been moved to a Friday night because of the Europa League final. So change your calendars for that one. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. I want 100 likes just for that thumbnail. Michael Jackson, come on. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let me know your comments on the game, team lineup, score predictions, and I'll be back at you with press conference news later today. I think it's going to be. So we'll get some team news about, the walking wounded, who's going to be fit and available. Is Ollie Watkins going to be risked? So we hope we'll find out from Unai later on today. Until then, guys, over and out. Up to Villa. Yee-hee.